right. What's up, everyone? We are back at the Blockchain Economic Forum. We are with Tegan Kline.
Hi, great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on the show.
Cheers.
Greatly appreciate it. So Tegan was teaching me about IPwe. So you're the Executive Vice President of Investor Relations there.
Yes, I am.
And when you initially were like, IPwe, and this is what we do, I was like, okay, wait a second, this directly applies to me because I care a lot about patents and I look through the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office a lot because we're constantly trying to figure out, invent. People are constantly trying to invent. And so you guys have figured out a way, leveraging blockchain, leveraging decentralization technologies to make this a much easier process because it's some archaic ass technology that we're dealing with.
Yeah. So,
teach us about it.
Sure. So we are essentially democratizing the patent space by creating a marketplace for patents to transact. So my CEO has been in this space for about 15 years, and over the course of 10 years, he developed an internal technology and he put 80% of the world's patents on it. So currently today, no global patent office exists. There are 200 different patent offices. Each country has their own. So we've scraped the data, we've gone through it, we've put it on our platform called Zeus Analytics, and we're giving this away for free. So right now, if you're an innovator, you have two different options. You can either hire a lawyer for thousands of dollars to identify which patents exist in the space that you're working in, or
hella expensive,
super expensive. And then once you get 6 80-page documents from your lawyer, what do you do with them? So then you have to hire an analyst to go through them to figure out if anything's valid, if they're relevant to your business at all. So we've created a platform using AI and deep learning so that you don't need any humans to do that, and we're offering that for free. And then we've created another segment to the business that allows you to identify who owns the patents once you identify which ones are relevant to you.
And that's how you're profitable.
No, so that's all offered for free. And
even the businesses being able to figure out who owns it's free?
It's all free, yeah, and it was about a $20 million investment into that. So we're offering that for free, and that'll kind of drive platform adoption to the marketplace. So the only time that we will make money is when a transaction occurs on platform. So for example, licensing, acquisitions, royalties that are paid, and we'll take a small piece of that in retrospect. So we're reducing the margins that currently exist and raising a lot of the transactions that will occur.
All right, let's unpack this. This is
Sure.
This is exciting stuff. All right, so 80% of all patents that exist you have on record, global. So right now it's segmented as in the United States patents and trademarks are with the US's office, and then Europe's are in the Europe's office.
Exactly.
And then I can't go to USPTO and look up Europe's and compare it to the US's. Okay. Wait a second. You have 80% of all of them, but do you have access to China's?
Yes.
How does one even begin to procure China's vast swath of patents?
So each patent office, you can access that data, but one thing that happens is a lot of it's like legacy systems. So a lot of the patents will be on tape. So what my CEO did is he had to go on eBay to buy a tape reader. I don't even know what a tape is.
What?
I don't even know what that is.
What do you mean they're on
it's so
tape?
legacy. It's such a legacy system, a platform, because patents are relevant for about 20 years. So 20 years ago, they didn't have ways to upload them onto.
In the year 2000, they didn't have the ability to upload a document digitally?
Or some of them just don't. They just don't. It's governments, right? And governments are still using fax machines. The only people I know with fax machines are lawyers and government agents.
Okay, so to decode what happened around 20 years ago, some of these are written on tapes and whatnot. Okay, and then so you're decoding it, uploading it into your system.
That's already been done, yeah. So my CEO did that over the course of the last 10 years. So now all of that is on platform, and we've developed relationships with the patent offices, and our main focus is kind of the smaller patent offices because they all have blockchain initiatives, but they can't really afford to do it. So they use our Zeus Analytics technology, and then they give us the patents that they have.
Okay, so we went from building relationships with over the last 10 years with the patent offices across the world, and then taking, is the data is open source?
So The patents?
Because it is, I can go to USPTO and find whatever
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, and then I can go to Europe's and find whatever I want. And
Yeah.
sometimes it'd be harder to tap into like China's. So then you have to build a relationship and get all that
Right.
data.
Right.
Okay, so then once
And China is the largest holder of patents currently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Hear that? China's the largest holder of patents. So, okay, so then you take all of the patents on record and you put them into IPwe. You said, what's Zeus?
Zeus Analytics, yes. So
Okay.
you can search it, all of the patents that exist. And
That's
if you,
one of your products is Zeus.
Exactly.
Analytics.
Yeah. And if you have a patent, you can go to our platform and you can upload it directly and validate it on our platform so that people can discover your patents as well and you can license them out. Or if you're not using the technology anymore, they can then be acquired.
So you're not scrubbing the constant upload to whatever's uploaded to the USPTO. Are you constantly scrubbing?
Yes, we have a team that does that still to this day, but we've done a lot of work to get the 80% of patents that exist onto our platform.
That's a lot. So so otherwise, after I submit a provisional, then I also submit it to you. Provisional patent application, then I submit it to you as well.
We don't deal anything with the beginning stages of filing the patents. It's all after it's been filed, or you can utilize the patents that exist currently.
So then, when the most common use cases are
for our platform.
Yes.
So one large aspect will be maintenance fees. So each year you pay about $400 on average on top of a $300 maintenance fee, just to simply pay a fee. So you go through a lawyer, you go through a company like CPA Global to pay this, and we're going to reduce that fee, that charge from $400 down to $30 on top of the $300 fee that you're paying.
For what? To a patent renewal?
So each year when you hold a patent, you have to pay a maintenance fee in order to keep it relevant.
Patent maintenance fee?
Exactly. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And think of these companies that hold thousands of patents. They're paying so much money just to keep them relevant.
$400 per year?
700.
700 per year.
So 300 to pay the fee, $400 for all the intermediaries that exist in the space that are gouging them because they're kind of taking advantage of the transparency. So us at IPwe, we're kind of reducing so currently there are bad actors on both sides, right? The way the market exists incentivizes bad actors on both sides. So you can't blame the individuals that are taking advantage of the system. You have to change the system, and that's what we're doing.
Okay, so changing the systems, hopefully getting out some of the bad actors from the process, and the use case is to drop the yearly renewal and maintenance to $30 from $700. That's fantastic. And to have an aggregated platform where I can just go and tap into kind of the patent fabric of our world. I love that about it.
Yeah.
That's great. Okay, give me other relatable uses.
So then royalties. So right now you're charged 5% or 500 basis points by intermediaries to pay royalties. We'll reduce that to about 1% or 50 basis points.
Okay, wait, let's unpack that. So I've submitted a patent, and my patent is a patent that corporations want to use. So then I organize a licensing deal with them, and then
they pay you a royalty.
But why would you get a chunk of that royalty?
So that's the thing. So in order to change the system, someone needs to build this. But we don't think that we should be at the center, at the forefront of this marketplace. We think it should be unowned, essentially. But we need to change it, and we need to make the money to do that, to change it first. So.
But okay, even if my patent exists on IPwe, excuse me, and then I make a licensing deal with a corporation, why would I pay you a fee of that licensing deal?
But
as in, would you make the paperwork for it and everything, or
it's
like
all done with smart contracts on our platform.
So it's done. Okay, now I think this is making more sense. So then the smart contract is made on the decentralized digital ledger, and then the agreement between the corporation and myself on the patent is immutably made forever for that period of time that it's stamped for. And you helped facilitate that, which is why you take a percentage of the fee. So you wrote the smart contract between us.
Yes. Yeah.
And you take 1%, you said.
1% or 50 basis points, so 0.5%.
Okay. Oh, okay. 0.5 to 1%.
Yes. Yeah.
Per
licensing deal.
per licensing deal.
Yeah, so
Oh shit. So on every $100 you'd make $1.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay. And that's just so you guys can sustain and grow and continue prospering.
Yeah.
So is this built on Ethereum or is this coded?
No. So we were looking at Ethereum initially. It just was too expensive to build on. So we're actually using IPFS to store the data and then Hyperledger Fabric to store the hash. So one thing that we have to offer to certain companies is a permission network, because certain companies aren't willing to license to certain other companies because of, the difficulties are between them that exist, right? So we have to offer them permissioned networks, but like universities, they're more willing to put their IP out to the world, so they'll have a permissionless setting.
Oh yeah, so I would have a permissionless setting, which would give access control to anyone that wants it, without royalty.
They would be able to. Yeah. They would be able to look at all of the details within your patent portfolio, essentially.
Yes, but then the access control, would that then enable them to use what I've patented? If my access control is free, open source,
if you want to, yeah,
then
that's
they
an option.
can use it without even contacting me, right?
Yeah.
Because it's open. I've made it open.
I'm sure
source.
there's some legalities behind that. I guess, yeah, if you're signing off rights that you will never sue them for infringing on your patent.
But then what? But then what if I dynamically change it to be? After a couple months, I'm like, I want 1% of what people like licenses. Then how do we go back and figure out who was using it?
I guess before? It would be dependent on what's in the smart contract, like the duration of time that you're allowing it.
They still have to. There's still a smart contract that has to be made.
I would say so. Yes, just to protect exactly because of the exact scenario that you just. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Okay, so what are you most looking forward to with the IPwe technology across the world? Like, how is this going to help with invention and globalization? And
so it'll remove a lot of patent trolls that exist in the space. It'll eliminate a lot of the companies just.
What is a patent troll?
A patent troll is someone who just buys up a bunch of patents and then goes after people for infringing on their patents. So they'll go out and sue, which is, my CEO actually is a former patent troll. That's why he had the incentive to create all of this, but now he wants to give back to the ecosystem and he sees all of the flaws that exist. So
wow, that's so much work to buy patents and then go find people that infringe on them and sue them.
Yeah, but he turned $125,000 into $500 million being a patent troll. Yeah,
he only had to win like a couple major cases in order to get a majority of that money.
Yeah, but the thing is,
holy cow!
I know, but exactly. So that's what we want to change, and we want to remove that because that cripples people's businesses. Wow. That like, if you're like what I was saying earlier, you have two choices as an innovator. Hire a lawyer or hope that you don't get sued for patent infringement, and that cripples your business. So that's kind of what I'm looking forward to, is kind of giving the power back to the innovators, removing that fear, and also just allowing people that don't have the capital to hire those lawyers to actually have access to obtaining patents.
So in order to still file a patent, I still have to file it with my country.
Exactly. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
And
any other country that you want it to have jurisdiction with.
Yes. And then, so I still have to pay the fees for creating the patent and then submitting it through a legal entity.
But one crazy statistic is that only 2% of patents actually transact, and that's a $180 billion marketplace, and only 5% go into a commercial product.
Wait, 2% of patents transact?
So, like, they're licensed or they're acquired, only 2%.
And 98% just sit?
Exactly. It's so wasteful. It's such a wasteful space. So that's what we want to change.
Oh, so then you want to enable those other 98% to
become, transactable. Yeah.
Huh. Oh, that is interesting that you bring that up. Well, maybe that also is just true about the uselessness of so many patents as well.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but finding the ones that are useful and then making them more applicable in the world is an important task.
Yeah.
Okay, what else are you looking forward to?
What am I looking
Patent
for
trolls.
with this specifically?
No more patent trolls, hopefully.
I guess also just bringing kind of blockchain. It's a good use case for blockchain, right? Because we can tokenize patents, patent portfolios. They can become tradable. It's giving liquidity to an asset class that couldn't have liquidity without blockchain technology. So I guess that's what I'm looking forward to as well.
I love that. Giving liquidity to a socioeconomic class that wasn't able to gain it previously. So, okay, how about we ask you, we ask a lot of questions on this show. Some of them are, we like to call the like really thought-provoking ones. One of them that is really difficult is about wealth inequality and globalization.
Yes. Okay, great.
You like got really excited. You're like, okay, give me your difficult questions. So what do we do? Like, how do we balance the we are one mentality with geopolitical leadership? And also, how do we balance wealth being exacerbated for the 0.1% really fast versus the bottom, which is rising very slowly?
Yeah, so I got into blockchain initially for this very reason. I saw the possibilities to provide resources to people that never before could have had it. And universal basic income is one thing that's near and dear to my heart. But I just don't think the market's ready for it yet. And when it is, I will absolutely 100% be involved and have that as my main goal and main initiative. But right now, like, capitalism is 100% failing us. I would argue that it's failing even the top 1%.
Hold on a second, though. Capitalism has done incredible things
absolutely.
along the way.
Yeah, absolutely. And it incentivizes
it needs a lot of tweaking, but yeah.
To an extent, I think one thing, we're going to move from this kind of money gives you power society into more of a knowledge gives you power. And I think the power is going to be transferred from money to knowledge. But the thing is, when power was transferred from land to money, a lot of horrible things happened. There was a lot of bloodshed. So we need to find a way to transfer that power in a efficient way without harming a lot of people in the process.
Yeah, I think like you just described, there's like the transfer of power, that those words, transfer of power, that's a lot of kind of what ends up being the conversational point about answering this question, because the transfer of power can either be nice and gentle and kind, or it can be very bloody and war and money and greedy and powery and egotistical. And so I think one of the ways that we've been talking about on the show a lot, you mentioned UBI, and it's like really important to figure out how to best bring that to our world if that ends up being a case, because robotics and AI are here, and a lot of work is being taken away, a lot of new jobs are being made, but people need to be actualized into this world still at the same time, and so
I agree. And we can't fight it. We need to embrace it and accept it and adapt with it. And that's why I'm excited about blockchain, because I think it's going to provide those resources to people once their jobs are taken from and given to AI, right? They can actually focus on doing things that they really enjoy doing and not just what gives them money. So yes.
Do the things that we really enjoy doing, not just things that give us money. That's good. That's good. Okay, how about, do you think we're alone in the cosmos?
Oh, no, I don't think so. I don't think so. The universe is just so expansive. I think it would be, if you look at probability-wise, I think it's very slim that we're the only ones here.
Do you think there's a designer to the universe?
I used to. Now I'm more on the atheist side. But Stephen Hawking did the math, and the percentage, or the possibility that we're here by chance is very, very slim. So who knows?
And then, what is the most beautiful thing in the world?
Human connection, and deep human connection, I think.
And then give me an example of deep human connection that you find to be very profound and beautiful.
I guess like this conversation and just connecting with people on a deeper level.
Thanks.
So many people come to these events and they're like, oh, I'm going to network. I'm going to meet as many people as I can. I'm like, you have it all wrong, buddy. Like networking is connecting deeply with someone. It's not just meeting as many people as you can.
A lot of networking is one's ability to apply the Pareto principle to the networking. So you need to run around and find really quickly the 20% of people that are at the event that are going to be able to provide the 80% of synergistic value for you and them. So that's what I aim to do as quickly as
And
possible.
helping other people make those connections as well. So if you meet someone who you think could help another person's project, I think you should absolutely introduce them.
Amen, sister. Amen. I'm loving it, Tegan. I'm loving it. All right. Okay, very last thought. What do you think is the deepest emotion?
Love, I would say. Love and hate, I guess, but they're kind of one and the same, aren't they? Yeah. What would you say it is?
I have no idea. That's why we do this show, because I know nothing. I know nothing. All I know how to do is how to get better at asking questions.
Well, you're doing a good job.
Awesome. That was great. So we learned a lot about IP and about decentralizing IP, about congregating it into into a marketplace where we can view it across the world, and we can do things like remove patent trolls, do things like enable more people to access patents and get them licensed and get them used in the world. You're up to some really incredible work. And we really appreciate you sharing it with us today on the show.
Thanks so much for having me.
Thanks for coming on the show. So links in the bio, check them out. Also, join us in the movement. Subscribe, give us a comment below. Let us know what you think. Go and share this information with 2 people. They'll share it with 2 people. Let's get us talking. Don't just consume, go create with this content and make something cool with it as well. Also, join us on Patreon so we can continue doing cool things like coming to blockchain economic forum and featuring really smart people, and continuing to scale the efforts to get into sports stadiums and bring these conversations into massive arenas. So much love, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Awesome. Let's take a quick photo.